A Lumsden woman was forced to give birth in a car park today, the third emergency birth in the area since the Lumsden Maternity Centre was downgraded in April. That meant only one midwife was on hand, unlike two in a primary birthing unit, the next closest of which is in Gore, just over 40 minutes away. Clutha Southland MP Hamish Walker has been petitioning the government to reinstate the facility as a primary birthing unit. He says he's worried it will take the death of a newborn baby for anything to change.
This is the third baby in 2 months since the Lumsden Maternity Centre was downgraded that hasn't been able to make it to a primary birthing unit. The hub model that was introduced a couple of months ago is not fit for purpose. I'm pleading yet again to the Prime Minister. Is it going to take a preventable, needless death of a baby before they reinstate full services at the Lumsden Maternity Centre?
The mother's midwife, Sarah Stokes, is unavailable tonight. She's delivering another baby. But a short time ago, her colleague and fellow midwife, Nicky Pealing, told us what happened.
Late last night, the lady who was expecting her fourth baby contacted Sarah to say that labour had started, and they agreed to meet at Lumsden just to do an assessment and to make sure everything was going fine. But things went much quicker than they expected, and Sarah and the woman arrived at the car park at the same time, and the baby was already had the head out, and the baby got born in the car park.
What do you think of that?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, things happen, and women have babies quickly. What's disappointing now is that Sarah, who was the midwife, and that lady had to face that on their own. There was nobody to call. There was nobody to help. There was nowhere for them to really go. I mean, yes, they went back. They did go into the hub after the baby was born, and the husband was with them, and they went in and they delivered the placenta safely. But Sarah was all on her own as the midwife, which is not a safe thing anywhere. Yeah.
So, Lumsden has supposedly got this maternity hub. Did once they got inside, does it have everything you need there or not?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, like they talk about this hub, but it used to be a primary birthing unit. So we know that everything is fine. You know, the heating will go on, and you know, there's linen there, and there's stuff that you can do. There isn't stuff to make a cup of tea, but that's, you know, perhaps that's not the DHB's priorities. But so yes, it's a safe place to give birth now. Yeah.
But no
it
other.
Wasn't so safe.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but no other assistance inside for you. Even if you make it inside, there's nobody else in there who can help you. You're on your own still.
Absolutely not. Sarah would have had to call somebody to come. And the midwife who lives in Tiana right now, Jo, who potentially could be her backup, is on holiday at the moment. And her backup is Isabel Devry, who lives in Turtapri. So nobody would have got to help Sarah, right, you know, in time.
Well,
she called me the other week for another birth that was quick, and I live just outside of Tiana. It took me 40 minutes because it was -3 that night. But there is nobody there to be, you know, on site, which is what we used to have. There was a midwife at Lumsden, 24/7. Didn't matter whether you came from, you know, Tiana or just down the road. There was always a midwife there. Yeah.
So what if there'd been complications?
Well, that's right. I mean, this is why we are bringing this up again and again. We have been talking to the DHB about what they've taken away from Lumsden, and that is the 24-hour backup midwife. And we've made them aware of that since February this year, and we still haven't had any meeting to address that issue.
So no meeting, no contact?
No, we had a meeting on the 1st of April, when that was the first time that they met with the midwives to discuss it, and they've promised us further meetings since then, but we've had nothing.
So how risky is the situation currently then, in your professional view?
In my professional view, it is totally unacceptable to have so few midwives in a large area without the ability to have somebody on call and available in a reasonable time. I mean, they could put somebody on call in Gore to be on call for Sarah at Lumsden, but it takes 40 minutes to travel from Gore. So any emergency you get, that's not really a good response, is it?
Don't want to be overdramatic here, but do you think that lives are being put at risk as a consequence of this model?
You're not being overdramatic, Lisa. That's what I've been saying for a long, long time. And I'm not. I mean, I've been a midwife for 35 years, and I've stopped doing midwifery here because it's too scary. There is nobody that's got your back anymore. The DHB have taken every little bit of support that we had away. And I don't know how these girls are. I mean, Sarah is an amazing midwife, but she can't keep doing this, knowing that every time she gets called to something, she's on her own, mate. She's got nobody there to back her up.
Have you heard Have you heard from Chris Fleming, the Southern DHB boss?
Today?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Sarah did contact Heather Liddell this morning to let her know that there'd been a birth at the hub and that it would need cleaning. That seems to be the process that we have to do. We just have to let the DHB know, and somebody turns up to clean. There is no contract to clean the place. But as a consequence of that, that lady went off home again, and then Sarah had another lady, and they went to Gore to have their baby because this place hadn't been cleaned. I'm not saying that she would have had the baby at Lumsden, but potentially she could have done.
Is that where she is right now?
Yeah, she's in Gore right now, yeah.
Nicky, you've got the floor. What do you want to say to the Southern DHB?
Well, I'm just a bit dismayed that they still haven't put in place an adequate backup for these two midwives that are left holding the baby, literally. And they are playing Russian roulette, and I don't think that's very satisfactory in this day and age at all.
If something does go wrong, who's that on?
It's not if, it's when, Lisa.
And that's Midwife Nicky Pealing, and the Minister for Health, David Clark, was not available for an interview this evening.